You're listening to Moviesucktastic.
This kid just almost got nabbed in broad daylight, and you are so self-centered. You think I care about your stupid sex life? Get a grip on yourself, Murray. The world does not revolve around your pecker.
It all sounds like some bad movie.
Hello everyone, welcome to Moviesucktastic.
Hello.
Hey, there's my co-host. How you doing, my man?
I remembered I was muted.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Very good. I'm glad you could join us.
I'm here.
Ah, very nice. So, this week we're reviewing VR Warshawski. That was your challenge to me.
Yes, it was.
And, I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
What don't you know?
I don't know if I hated it enough.
They can't all be horrible, horrible, horrible films that you hate with a passion.
I guess so.
Now, it didn't do well.
No, it did horribly.
What, 11 million, I think, total?
Something like that.
Yeah, it did not do well.
Yeah, I got the numbers right here. Budget was 24. You're right. Made 11.
Mm-hmm.
And
now this was based on the VR Warshawski novels, featuring the character of the same name, and this was supposed to be the beginning of a franchise for Kathleen Turner, which of course doesn't happen when your box office is half the cost of the film.
That's right.
So that ended up not being a beginning of a series of V.I. Warshawski movies, thankfully.
I mean, and it was a summer release too. It's actually coming up almost to the day that we're reviewing this, July 26, 1991.
I timed it that way?
No, I bet you did. It's 22 years just about. And when you release a film in July and it does poorly, that's very bad. I mean, almost everything will at least break even in June or July, even August. Just basically the summer. Everything will just about break even. It's got to be a real fucking stinker, or there's got to be just absolutely no interest whatsoever.
Well, and I'd have to go more with the second than the first. I mean, this is by no stretch of the imagination a good film, but I think overall there was just no call for it.
Yeah. I mean, hell, this release got the Blu-ray treatment. Yeah.
Yeah. What up with that?
And let me tell you something. It don't look so good.
Even in Blu-ray, it's like, yeah, this is... Well, the look of the film, the sound of the film, the feel of the film, this is what, 90? 1990?
91.
91? This is an 80s film.
Yeah.
Everything about this film... Yeah, everything about this film screams 80s. From the Beverly Hills Cop wannabe soundtrack down to just the grain of the film stock used, everything. It just screams the direction. It's 80s.
Yeah.
There's really not there's very if you watch this back to back with Fatal Beauty, besides the fact that had more realistic violence in it, very little differences just as far as style and presentation. It's an 80s film.
Yeah, I mean, the Blu-ray treatment alone, like you said, with the grain, in my opinion, I think it looks terrible. It looks like something that was up-converted from DVD. You know, and we were just talking last week about how gorgeous the Street Trash film is, which I did rewatch it. I mean, I had only watched a few scenes here and there, and you were talking it up, and I watched the whole thing. And let me tell you, it is truly a beautiful transfer. I am just flabbergasted.
I wasn't bullshitting.
Yeah, absolutely gorgeous transfer. Almost too good for for a film of that like that. You wouldn't think that they would put in the time and effort that they did, but I'm glad that they did do that. But back to VR Warshawski. But yeah, no, you're right. It's only a couple of years removed. It's only a couple of years removed from the 80s, obviously, and it does have that 80s feel to it. And it's like you said, it's most notable in how it's shot and how it feels. Even when they're showing, the Chicago around the area, it just, you're right. It feels Chicago. At least they're not filing for bankruptcy. It just, it just has that Beverly Hills Cop feel to it for sure.
Mm-hmm. Well, so. I mean, the soundtrack, everything's the same, and I think it's might be part of why it failed in the box office. Not to get too, like, I don't even know what to get like, but not to dwell too much on it. Not technical, but I'm saying not to be like armchair quarterback looking back and trying to decipher why in that time period it didn't do well. But really, you can almost see the '90s just trying to get rid of. You're trying to at every point you try to get rid of that last decade of culture, and this is like the last gasp of it. Just trying to. They're still clinging to the same formula, and the formula
what I'm gonna do?
working much better in the novel series than it is on film, apparently.
I'm actually pulling up what films were released that summer. I bet this just didn't fit the mold of what they were releasing for summer 1991. This was just kind of out of maybe left field. Mm-hmm. So here, 1991. I won't even do May. I'll just stick to June and July. 1991, you had films like City Slickers, Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead, Jungle Fever, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, The Rocketeer.
Oh, wow! This is like the summer of shit.
Yeah, Suburban Commando.
Oh,
with fucking Hulk Hogan. Naked Gun 2.5, The Smell of Fear.
Give you that.
That was all June. So July. Oh, here's why. July competition: Terminator 2, Judgment Day, Point Break, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, Dutch, and then the weekend that it came out was, wow, this is a lot of just bad films. Another You, Life Stinks, fucking Mobsters, fucking Christian Slater, VR Warshawski, and then a mere 4 days later, or 5 days later, was a Wednesday release, was Hot Shots. So I had a lot of stiff competition for the summer, and this film just it gets thrown in there. No one's really interested in seeing that. There's a whole plethora of other films. Mainly Terminator 2 was eaten up every single weekend when it was released.
Oh, yeah. That was pretty much the only film being watched, right?
Yeah.
And even as far as date films go, how high up is V.I. Warshawski on the list?
Yeah.
I mean, it's. I think one of the. It's a popular book series, but that doesn't translate to the movie-going world. Not everybody reads books, and everybody knows what the hell's out there. I myself had never, I didn't read that kind of stuff back then anyway, but I'd never heard of the character until then. And naming the movie after her was kind of like, it was almost like pushing it too hard.
Yeah.
They were almost, yeah. If they had tried to sell it on the story or the plot or the action or something else like that, but instead you're selling this character. And that, by the way, that trailer was way too long.
You know how long it was? It was only a minute and 40 seconds.
It was way too long.
It was almost a minute shorter than what your standard movie trailer is.
It's still way too long because there was that part where she's sexy, and then he goes through the whole spiel, and then there's this pause when you have like some action going, and then he starts talking again. It's like, no, you should have stopped the trailer there. Because you have nothing else to say. And when the trailer, it's if you have a guy speaking in the trailer, narrating the stuff, you can't have that pregnant pause like he's trying to think of what to say next.
Yeah, and you're right. I think the biggest problem with the trailer is they throw so much shit at you. It wears you out. It feels way longer than it is. Well,
it's one of those films too. It's one of those trailers too. They're showing you everything in the film because they're just trying to get you in to see it.
The guy that gives her his kid, he's in the film for 10 or 15 minutes? He's in almost that entire trailer.
Mm-hmm.
It's a minute and 40 seconds. He's in it
Boom,
for
boom.
at least a minute.
Boom, boom.
Boom,
Yeah.
boom, Gray Falk.
Boom boom, right? Because when you have a female lead, you want to make sure you have her say boom boom as often as possible.
That's right.
Because you really sound, important.
right.
Or
Boom,
yeah, that's
boom,
that really
boom. Let's go
boom
back
boom.
to my
It goes at
room.
boom boom, boom boom.
Boom, boom. Yeah. Boom, boom.
Now the basic plot for anybody who's never seen the film, which is probably a lot of people apparently,
Yeah.
is that VR. Well, I brought up the Wikipedia for the book series.
Oh, okay. I brought it up for the film.
Yeah, see, yeah, that's. I accidentally brought it up for the film. I wanted the book series, because if you look up the book series, it gives a description of the character. Now, I really hate most detective series because they're very, very cliche.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, maybe I had the movie one up.
I have it up if you need anything from it.
Oh well, I mean I have it up for the character, and a lot of this is from the book series. So if you go from the book series, you read she's a lean, athletic brunette who runs to keep in shape, not afraid of physical confrontation, relies on karate and her Smith and Wesson. But then it gets a bit into like Match.com dating profiles. Hot-tempered, sarcastic, and fiercely self-reliant, Vic prefers t-shirts and jeans and sleeps in the nude, but she can dress stylishly if necessary. It's like, okay.
I have a couple of reviews here. Roger Ebert gave it a thumbs up, and he gave it 3 out of 4 stars.
Ah!
And late Roger Ebert. He says Kathleen Turner fits the character. He obviously read the books and enjoys the character in the books. So one would think that he would give it a poor review because of that. But he said Kathleen Turner fits the character more closely than I would have ever imagined. Her laugh seems aged by whiskey. No, that's just because she's slowly turning into a man. Her smile is brave in the face of trouble. She kisses guys as if she'll never see them again, and she's usually right.
I think he just likes her.
Maybe. Janet Maslin, she had mixed thoughts, but commended the film on the acting. It's too bad VR Warshawski itself is a lot less glamorous than Miss Turner's performance, since the character could easily be the centerpiece of a more appealing film. VR Warshawski has a breezy style and a serviceable and even surprising detective plot, and it has Mrs. Turner, who makes the most of VR Warshawski's sardonic humor.
It's a surprising detective plot, really?
Yeah. I guess so.
Now,
But it seems everyone enjoyed Kathleen Turner's performance.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
looking back at it 22 years, I bet they changed their mind.
Yeah.
I think they're just too infatuated with her Romancing the Stone and Jewel of the Nile films, which are only maybe 7-8 years removed.
Right.
Maybe less.
Yeah.
I think
Now
6.
the movie's a lot closer to the book series than it was going to be. There were a lot of changes they tried to make, but Kathleen Turner had script refusal rights, which is something she got after. Apparently, I haven't read much about it, but apparently there was a huge debacle with her with Romancing the Stone. So after that film, she always made sure she had script refusal rights
Oh.
to any film she signed up on, and so she would
she
refuse.
she was unhappy with Robert Zemeckis' directing?
Well, no. This is like we're talking about like while they were writing this film, they tried to change a lot of stuff to make her less
Sultry.
either less feminine or less mannish. Pick one. And they tried to change a lot film wise. Apparently, since Fatal Attraction was a big film that year, they wanted to have the kind of ending that had, where the guy, where the person that's killed gets up at the end again, like that shock thing.
Oh,
and she
God.
fought them on that. They took a lot of liberties with the character, and they didn't take as many as they could have, partly because of her.
Wow.
So you can give her that. My problem with the film, and my problem with a lot of these films, where they purposely and I'm assuming if I read the books that I have the same problem with those too, is that whenever you try to do the tough female character, and you still want to keep her feminine as well as tough, and you purposely have her rebelling against male stereotypes, all you end up doing is reinforcing stereotypes even further. And I this film does that for me.
Okay.
I mean,
I see where you're going with it.
if it's a tough female character who's struggling in a man's world, and of course, every single guy she comes up to, it's just like the Whoopi Goldberg film. It's just like Fatal Beauty, except there was more racism than anything else. But every guy she meets is like, well, a woman wouldn't be doing this. Don't break your nails, lady. It's like every single man she meets or is involved with is just a bigot, a sexist bigot, and just degrade her at every chance possible. It's
Right,
a bit heavy-handed.
Even the lessons she's teaching the girl, she's don't trust a man.
Well, that's later, yeah. Yeah.
No, I'm just adding to what you were saying. It's just you're right. It's just she's in this world where, like you said, she's everyone is patronizing her basically. One of the things she says, she goes, the girl asks why she doesn't ever tell anyone her first name. She goes, well, it doesn't give them a chance to patronize me, So
right.
it's in the same vein where she's actually teaching this girl. It's like, don't trust men. Pretty much at some point.
Which I don't have a problem with. Don't get me wrong. But first of all, again, but like every character, her on again, off again husband / boyfriend who's always cheating on her and who talks down to her and
who I like. I like that actor.
Yeah,
I'm glad he went on to have a career, and this wasn't the end of it for him.
Well, I don't think this ended anybody's career. Even Charles Durning was in it.
That's towards the end of his career.
Well, yeah, but he still did a lot of films after this. Come on.
Oh yeah.
But
when did he officially stop acting? What was his last film before he died?
I no idea. I'll
have to look.
So yes. So she's rebelling against these male stereotypes that are constantly trying to put her down, hold her back, a woman in a man's world, that kind of thing. Yet she still clings to every female stereotype that would be used against a woman. The strong affection for shoes, the need to be attractive and beautiful to men at the same time. She's shunning every time someone makes a crack about her. It's a little duplicitous and it's a bit contradictory, and it really has to be done right. Like one of the few films I felt did tough female role right was Lethal Weapon 3.
Yeah. Rene Russo was very good.
Rene Russo.
Yeah, the back and forth between her and Mel Gibson in that is excellent.
Right, because again, every time they try to do this, they try to do both. There's okay, this woman's going to be tough. She's not going to take shit from men, but she's our leading character, and she has to fall in love. Well, you're already painting yourself into a corner. And let's not forget that as much as she hates men, well, not a man hater. Let me rephrase that. As much as she's at a constant struggle against men, and every man she comes across is either looks down upon her or is trying to hold her back, she's constantly receiving assistance from other men.
Right.
So, right there, it's a mixed message that I don't think comes across fully.
Did you know Charles Durning died on Christmas Eve?
No.
That's fucked up. I get the feeling we did mention that on the show at one point. It just feels like we did. But Christmas fucking Eve. Charles Durning.
That's horrible.
Son of a bitch. Oh.
I mean, the book, there's a couple of the things as far as the character in the book that takes it even further why I don't like the character, because it wants the best of both worlds. Like, here's the, after that part where she can wear jeans, but can dress up too if she has to. She loves opera and classical music, often singing arias and playing her piano in times of stress. And she stays trim despite a ravenous appetite and favors multi-course ethnic meals with good wine. So she likes to eat a lot, but she's still thin and attractive, though, so that's okay.
Of course.
It's that kind of bullshit. It's just that kind of bullshit. And when you mentioned before, you mentioned the One for the Money, that series. What's the character's name again? Oh, why am I slipping a disc here? That doesn't even mean what I said. So
I'll look it up.
I've read them too. Janet Ivanovich films, books. The Janet Ivanovich books.
Well, I knew the author of the character is.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember because I read like 4 or 5 of them, and they're okay. she's a good.
Stephanie Plum. Stephanie Plum.
That's right, the Plum series. That's right. But again, you fall into the same trap where it's at least with Stephanie Plum's character, which you could look at it and say it's kind of like a newer version of V.R. Warshawski. At least the Stephanie Plum character isn't like mannish or tough. I mean, look at the fucking poster for V.R. Warshawski. Look at the poster for V.R.
Yeah.
What?
It's just, but Stephanie Plum's a Jersey girl, so it right? I mean, I've never read the books, but Stephanie Plum, she's supposed to be...
Right, she becomes a bounty hunter just because she needs the money. It's not that she's like a tough person, and she deals a lot with the problems of... and you have the whole thing with the weight and trying to, that stuff too, but at least she's more of a real person and not this, okay, she's tough as nails, but she sings arias on occasion. Now, look, the poster for V.I. Warshawski is Kathleen Turner holding the gun up, and then there's the big W behind her, and her legs are spread with the W.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
And what's the tagline? She's as sexy as she is smart. Like that's not common. So automatically we have one of the most sexist movie posters you could imagine, and they're trying to sell to the public that this is like a feminist movie, so to speak, in a way.
The DVD cover removes the W, removes the tagline, and it's just her basically standing on top of the name V.R. Warshawski with the city in the background. They got rid of everything that the movie poster had. It's gone. She's as sexy as she is smart, because we all know women are dumb and buy shoes.
And so it's a tough character we want to follow, but we have to make sure she's very attractive, and we have to make sure we show guys whistling and giving cat calls to her, and we have to go. Now, don't get me wrong, the scene where they're actually beating her up, that was pretty cool. That had some promise. It's like, okay, she's getting manhandled. This is a rough scene, but again, she has to go to men for help. She's constantly talking about how men are stupid and how she has to talk, deal with men by, that's how I get him to do things, by lying to him and telling him I don't want him to do them, then he does them. That's how you manipulate men. Well, that's wonderful. That's great. And that's the same guy that takes 2 bullets for you later. So I can understand how you're going to be demeaning like that. You can't fight the stereotype when you're purposely backing up other stereotypes. And that's always been a problem I had with this kind of thing. And again, it's also the precocious child that's obnoxious, that she should have pistol whipped in the first 5 minutes of the film. Yeah, right. But then they turn out like the Bond. So why do they have to Bond? Do we have to do this?
There's two other taglines for the film. One is V.R. Warshawski, a private detective with a name as tough as she is. And then the other one is killer eyes, killer legs, killer instincts. I wonder why they went with the other one.
The one I would have used was she's a dick.
Yeah, even in today's world, that doesn't get used. The Kevin Smith film, the one with the Cop Out, was initially supposed to be called A Couple of Dicks. Right. And of course, the studios get cold feet. They're just seeing a disaster at the box office, all that shit, and they made him change it.
They should have seen a disaster at the box office coming without the name.
It broke even. It did okay.
I still haven't seen that piece of shit. Don't even.
It's not good. I've had people tell me that it's good, and it's not.
Who told you it's good? Who told you that?
That person will remain nameless.
Yeah, I bet you I know who it is.
I don't think you do.
Okay.
But they told me it was good. They said they laughed a lot. I watched it. I was very disappointed.
What's his name? Not Bruce Willis.
Not Bruce Willis.
The other guy in the film.
Oh, Tracy Morgan.
Tracy Morgan. Not funny. Never found him funny. Annoys the shit out of me.
Yeah, I'm gonna get you pregnant. Okay, enough of that.
Nothing funny about just being a babbling idiot. Not funny. Sorry.
Yeah, now they got him sport and or selling fucking what Mio or whatever that is, where it's the shit you put in your water to flavor it.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. He's annoying in that commercial. And that's another thing. The fucking running gag in the film is everybody pronounces her name wrong. You know what? I'm sorry. It's really not a difficult name to pronounce. It really isn't.
But they do it on purpose, which makes it funny. That was at least
you know what they should do? You know what they should do? They should give Bujna his own series of books or a movie and try to pronounce that fucking name. Then make that a running gag.
Well, he'll never pronounce it the same way twice anyway.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. Now, but the film as a whole, it's you're right. It's not horrible. It's not, my God, this sucks. It's painful to watch, but it's not good. And it's just you can tell when they're trying to adapt a novel from a series, and what they end up doing is just trying to write something similar to it instead of actually adapting it. And whatever charm there is in the novels, I think, is lost.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't read any of the books, but I can just tell by the way this film is made how it gets from A to B all the way to the end credits. You could feel that the books have been, what's the word I'm looking for? Just soiled, in some way.
The film opens with her in like high heels and the skirt, slow, sexy pan up her body, while Jimmy James from News Radio, greased back, just made to look like a disgusting man, openly ogles her, and like, smiling, eyes open, like just banging her in his mind with his eyes, and that pretty much sets up the whole tone of the film. That's what the tone of the film is. I'm beautiful and I'm tough, and this is the slime I have to deal with. That's great. I'm not against that, but it doesn't hold up. It doesn't hold up. It's shallow.
Agreed.
Great performances. Her and what's his name? The guy you mentioned that you liked.
Oh, I'll get him. His name is Murray in the movie. Let's see. It's J.O. Sanders. Great performance by him. I love him. He's great.
Kathleen Turner. I think any problem with the film has to do with what she has to do as far as a character. She's trying to exist in this feminist bubble that doesn't resemble reality in the least. So she's natural when she can be, but when she has to switch from, sensitive, caring individual to tough lady, she's not. It's not the same character.
Right.
It's really not. I don't think she pulls it off just because it's not believable. It's not believable in a person. You're going to have a same kind of tone throughout a person. Oh, we're back on again.
Yeah, we're back.
Okay.
We're back, baby.
It's the every interaction she has with other characters is constructed to support the myth of this character instead of support the reality that she lives in, and it just falls apart by that. And of course, make the other woman she has to deal with the mother / housewife.
Right, which they make everyone hateable because they set up from the second the kid is with her that she's going to end up with her. Mm-hmm. They make no bones about it. They set it up from the beginning. They make everyone hateable, and I guess it helps that she could pass off as her mom because they're both blondes. Every character
only exists to either to support some facet of V.I. Warshawski's character's reality. Every character exists to either prove that she's right about men, or prove that she's right about what she does, or challenge her. Or everybody has their role, and none of them are based in reality. Nobody's just, I'm a guy. What do you want? I guess that's it. No, I'm just a guy. No, I'm a guy, and I'm going to have to make a lewd comment or smack you around because that's just how it goes.
That's how it works.
Yeah. So And I know we're not really talking much about the story. It's your typical '80s detective story. There's nothing even. What did Ebert say? It was like a good potboiler, or
no? I have it right here. He says Kathleen Turner fits the character more closely than I would have imagined. Her laugh seems like aged by whiskey. Her smile is brave in the face of trouble. She kisses guys as if she's never going to see them again, and she's usually right.
No, the part about the detective story.
Detective story. No, that was the only quote from Roger Ebert.
What's the other one? It's the other.
Oh, it's too bad that V.R. Warshawski itself is a lot less glamorous than Miss Turner's performance, since the character could easily be the centerpiece of a more appealing film. V.R. Warshawski has a breezy style and a serviceable, even surprising detective plot. And
okay.
Yeah.
Serviceable, yes. Even surprising? How so?
Yeah, you see everything coming. It's so predictable.
There's no point where you go, oh, it's him. No, yeah, you know.
Yeah, you know what wasn't predictable? By Kathleen Turner in the scene where she's eating pizza, where she takes that bite, and she realizes, oh shit, this is really hot pizza. She wasn't expecting it to be a hot slice of pizza, because when she bites into it, she's like, oh, like you see it. It's a split second, but then you, the viewer, know that wow, that is a hot pizza, because she pulls a piece of olive. Sliced olive off the top, and a piece of cheese pulls with it. Very stringy. I'm like, that's a fucking hot pizza. So, yeah, that was a surprise.
So from the Italian point of view, it's a very good representation of pizza.
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. I think we're good with that.
Right.
Don't make me play the.
No, I'm not bringing Papa Giuseppe into this.
Okay, because he can make an appearance.
But I know I see what you're saying as far as like saying you didn't really hate the film enough. There's nothing outstandingly bad about it.
Yeah, I mean, even the rating on IMDb, I think, is a little low. I think this would be a 5, in my opinion.
I have to agree with you. I wouldn't go higher than 5, maybe, just because. But
if we could do point updates, I might go 5.5, but it's nowhere near a 6, and I think 5 is appropriate.
And even
the highest I would ever go is 5.5.
And again, going back to the Beverly Hills Cop thing. Oh, she drives a piece of shit car. I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
She lives in an apartment that overlooks Yankee Stadium, or.
Yeah, something like that. Because we got this apartment so we could watch the games. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Whatever.
To show how tough she is, she watches sports. And
yeah, she loves her sports.
Again, not against the tough female role, but it's her character is not supported by this really ham-fisted, clumsy reality constructed around her that's meant to do nothing but support that role, and it just doesn't hold.
Right.
But nothing. I can't think of any scenes where it's like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. And that's just
no, just nothing like that.
Nice boat chase in the middle of the film. Oh, boat chase in the city. That's always cool.
Yeah, why not? Hey. If we did 1,000, if we're 1,000 episodes in, first of all, we should shoot ourselves if we're at 1,000 episodes in this. But if we did, then I could understand. Yeah, we spent 10 years of our life doing this.
If we had 1,000 episodes,
it would be 20 years.
If we hit 1,000 episodes, somebody's gonna shoot us.
Yeah. Yeah, we got to figure out an end game at some point. You know.
Blaze of Glory.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, everybody.
I love it. All right, you can go to our websites. You can go to Moviesucktastic.com. Download all our episodes there. You can listen to the show there. You can watch it live there as well. Or you can go to livestream.com/Moviesucktastic, and you can watch it there too. You can go to Facebook.com/Moviesucktastic, and you can look at all the trailers and movie quotes and everything movie related, entertainment related. That gets posted there too. Plus the episode, you can download it there as well. You can leave us voicemail at 908-514-4470. You can leave us email at themovieguys@Moviesucktastic.com. We have a Tumblr page, which is Moviesucktastic.tumblr.com. Right? Is that correct? Moviesucktastic.tumblr.com.
That sounds correct. Yes, that is correct.
Okay, good.
Moviesucktastic.tumblr.com.
Do we have anything else? Did I miss anything?
Just Chutzpah, Spirit, and too much time on our hands.
Hey, yeah, not really, but okay. That's a fucking lie. All right, we'll talk to you next week.
More or less, yep. And
Pretty
remember,
much.
do not doubt Zack Snyder again.
Ever.
Ever.
Well, if you make Sucker Punch 2, you can.
He didn't make 302, so that's already like a notch in his favor.
That's right. He decided to stay away from that one.
He produced, but whatever. Yeah, it's,
Well, fuck. Why not? He's going to go after the money.
they're going to make it anyway. Might as well get a hand in there.
That's right. All right, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.